Boys, today we're going to be doing, honestly, I don't think this is a rare video idea. I'm pretty sure this shit has been done before on YouTube, but it is what it is. No one has done it quite like me and with as many UFC fighters that I'm going to be doing. As you can see on screen, we got a tier list. We are going to be doing the UFC IQ tier list. We have, I think, just under 60 fighters in the UFC. I have every single champions, every single men's champions, because at the end of the day, who gives about the women's divisions? As you can see, we have big brain. This isn't going to be only for those dudes who are high IQ, no low IQ. This is for the biggest brains in the UFC. Then we got above average, average, below average, and then just straight up disabled. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, there might be a lot of people in this lower bracket. I don't know if we're gonna have many people in big brain. I don't know if we'll have a single guy here in big brain, to be honest. We might, but I'm not too sure we will. But like I said, we have like 57, I think, people on this list and every single champion. Let's start off with Poetan. Now it might just be because this dude doesn't speak English and we only hear little grunts from him, but there has to be a reason why, this dude didn't have an education, why he was in a tire shop. Maybe all the drinking got to his head and all he can say now is, Shama, And I'm not trying to be disrespectful to any of these dudes. It's like, low-key, having like an extra chromosome for like the disabled section, low-key makes you a better fighter. So I'm not saying that, they're terrible fighters. Low-key, the lower you are on this list, the better fighter you are. Let's just say it as that. But let's keep moving down to, honestly, I don't know where I should put this dude. Is it just me, or does Chase Hooper look like one of those nerdy kids who always gets 100% on those exams? This dude just looks like a textbook level big brain dude. I'm not too sure if he is. I'm putting him in big brain. You try to look back into your like elementary days and you picture someone like Chase Hooper to be a big brain dude, and maybe it's just because he looks so young, but I'm putting him in big brain for now. Moving down, disabled. I think Bobby Green might be disabled, and it's just because Bobby Green might be the lowest IQ fighter on the roster. And it's not like a jab or anything. I'm not saying I'm the biggest. I low-key might be disabled as well if I was putting myself on this list, but game recognizes game, and my boy Bobby Green, you're disabled. I don't know how else to tell you, but you're disabled. Then we got another one. We got Patty. We got Patty Pimlet. Honestly, Patty Pimlet, he gives me just average. I don't know if I want to put him below average. I'm not trying to get suckered into that Scouser accent, because the Scouser accent just makes him disabled, to be honest. But I think IQ-wise, this dude's about average. He has some big brain plays here and there. His fight IQ, also we take a look into the fight IQ. I think this dude's about average. And because of that, I think I'm going to move Pereira up, just because I think the fight IQ, helps bring up his case. However, someone who is below average, we got Anthony Smith. Now it's either just, below average IQ, also fight IQ, and just a delusion. This dude's going out here saying that Pereira is not that good. He could beat Pereira, that John Jones realistically isn't that good, and on paper he would whoop John Jones. This dude below average, arguably could go to disabled, but I'm trying not to stack up like the disabled section, because I'm not gonna lie, there's a lot of dudes here that could go into the disabled section. Moving down, I think we gotta put Colby Covington also in average. However, Colby Covington gives me the vibe of someone who did their homework, someone who studied for the test, and then would tell on the teacher if someone tried to like peek on their exam to cheat. He gives me that kind of vibe. He's going to go in average, so I don't think there's anything maybe above. Nah, I'm keeping him in average. Then I don't know what it is, but Aljamain Sterling gives me above average like IQ. I don't know what it is. I think it's mainly because this dude, last second, you have to be pretty big brain to think about this like during the fight, especially split second reaction, to start using your acting career and get a championship belt off that. So you have to have some level of IQ to pull off that play. So I'm putting him in above average. Then I think another big brain dude, someone who is arguably too smart for his own good, Corey Sandhagen. Corey Sandhagen, this dude will break down tape. This dude will study all these little minor moves just to master it in MMA. He's too smart for his own good. He's just there mid-fight doing calculations in his head. And again, mid-fight calculations, this dude's big brain in my opinion. Moving down, disabled, you gotta put Bryce Mitchell here. Love him or hate him, regardless of what he said recently, you can't tell me this dude isn't a little bit disabled. You can't tell me he isn't like missing a chromosome here and there. And like I said, game recognizes game. Bryce Mitchell, disabled. Another dude who, might be disabled. A lot of people say that, but, shame on you for saying that about my boy, Curtis Blades. I don't care about his speech impediment. This dude is above average IQ. Listen to him talk. He's actually very, very thoughtful of what he's saying. I think this dude is above average, and low-key, don't tell him I said this. I think he's playing up that stutter so people don't realize how big his IQ really is. For all we know, this dude could be the next Einstein, but he's trying to humble himself. But moving down, let's get some more champions on here. Pantoja, where do we put Pantoja? Average. I don't think Pantoja is anything special, to be honest. I don't know if it's racist that I'm having like the two Brazilian people here, but it is what it is. I don't make the rules. I just follow them. I think my boy Volkanovski is big brain. I don't care what anyone says. Maybe I'm just glazing way too hard because Volk is my favorite fighter, and I'm going to cry so hard when this dude gets flatlined by Topuria again, but this dude's big brain. If he keeps getting knocked out, we might have to bump him down, but for now, he's big brain. Another dude below average, you have to put Ion Kuntalabe here. And it's just when you can tell someone's just a little bit slow? Those are the vibes I'm getting from Kuntalabe, but he's going in the below average. Then we have brother, we have Islam Makhachev. Islam he seems like he did pretty well in school. That's just the vibe I'm getting. I'm going above average. He could very well be in the average section, but I'll go above average for right now. Then we have Jamal Hill. Jamal Hill, low-key, gives me below average, but at the same time, I could definitely see him just in the average section. I'm gonna have to, I think the below averageness is coming from, the stick that he has going on right now, saying that if it wasn't for the nut shot, all this stuff, he would have whooped Pereira and all that stuff, but I'm going in average, and I just forgot how many freaking guys we have here. We're gonna try to speed run some of these guys, because we have way too many people here. Let's go down. Bo Nickel. Bo Nickel gives me like above average. He seems to excel at whatever he puts his mind to. So if he's just grinding in school, I guarantee this dude's above average. We got Radke. I mean, I think he's around average. We love him for saying that one famous catch line, but I'll put him in average. T-City is low-key disabled, I'm not gonna lie. And if you know, you know. That's all I gotta say. Dominic Reyes. Hey, my name's Dominic Reyes. I'm a former athlete. You're below average. I think all the concussions, all the blows to the head. Bilal Muhammad, below average. Israel Adesanya gives me the vibes of someone who thinks he's big brain, but is just actually average, Dricus du Plessis, average. I don't know if there's anything that needs to be said about that. Gene Silva, low key. Okay, you know who Gene Silva reminds me of? A lot of people say this guy reminds them of Chiwiwi, but the dude from, I forget what it is. The show with like the toddlers and stuff. I forget who it is, but it's the dude that people say Chiwiwis is. The guy who just talks crazy. I picture this as the grown-up version of him, because if you guys remember, I believe it was Gene Silva's debut. He came out barking, so disabled. Then we got Chiwiwis. He's an average 20-year-old in my opinion. We'll put him there. Cody Garbrandt, low-key disabled, but we'll put him below average. But he could easily go into disabled, One more night of hanging with the boys, and this dude's going to disabled. But for now, he's below average. And to be honest, okay, this might be a hot take, but Yuri Prochazka is either disabled or big brain. And he might only be big brain for him, if that makes sense, For people like Yuri Prochazka, he's big brain. But for everyone else, they just see him as a disabled guy. But low-key, he's kind of big brain. We got Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland, low-key disabled. He's just a little bit retarded. What can I say? Chimaev, I feel like Chimaev is you can't be that dominant in wrestling and be smart. So I'm just going to put him in average. Conor McGregor, disabled. What you mean you said no? You know what I mean? Another disabled dude we got. Let's just quickly get over that part. We got Marvin Vettori. One of the classic, top of the line disabled dudes we have in the UFC. I'm going to put him right there as number one. Then we have, Dominic Cruz. Dominic Cruz, one of the biggest brain. He's like a Sandman, to be honest. These two are a very big brain. Maya Tibek, Oralbai. I'm not going to put him in disabled. He's just below average. He's just a classic caveman, ooga booga type of guy. You know what I mean? Paulo Costa. I feel like Paulo Costa is a little bit above average. I'm not going to lie. And he tries to hide it with these memes that don't make proper sense English wise, but it's because of his lack of English. I guarantee this dude's very big brain, but he's just hiding it from us. Walter Walker, disabled. Is there much that needs to be said? He's just a retarded heavyweight. And is it just me? Oh, this sounds so bad. Does Spivak not just give you the Spivak and fucking Tybura? Do these two do they just not look disabled? Do they, when you look at these guys, the first thing that comes to your mind is, damn, these guys look very intelligent. No. So they're going disabled. Johnny Walker, I'm gonna put in below average. He could go in disabled. I'm putting him below average just because I think a lot of it has to do with wanting to be exciting for the fans, you know? But trust me, if this dude keeps getting knocked out, his ass is getting into disabled if he likes it or not. Moving down, Kamaru Usman's pretty above average if I had to pick someone. I'm going to keep Curtis here though, but Kamaru Usman could easily go into big brain, but I'm going to have him above average. He speaks very, very well, you know? Dustin Poirier, I don't think Dustin Poirier was like very smart, you know, school wise. I'm going to put him in an average. He gives me, I'm just kidding, I'm putting him in below average. Not by a lot, just a little bit below average. He could easily go into the average spot. Then we have Ian Gary. Average, you know, I don't think he's anything special, to be honest. Then I'm sure a lot of people were waiting for this. We got Justin Gaethje. We already know this boy is a little bit disabled. Let's be realistic. If you haven't watched some of the highlights of autistic moments of Justin Gaethje, I highly recommend you go do that after watching this video. It is hilarious. That being said, we're almost done. We got a few more guys left disabled. Leon Edwards. Maybe just below average, to be honest. Easily could go into disabled though. Another one, like, just look at this picture and tell me he doesn't fit in with these two guys. Muhammad Usman. You can't tell me that there's a single thought going through that guy's head right now. Ilia Topuria. For some reason, Ilia Topuria gives me the vibe of, you know, that one asshole in school who would always brag about, you know, staying up all night, watching movies, playing video games, not studying for the exam, and then acing that exam. That's what fucking Ilia Topuria reminds me of, and I hated people like that, but he gives me big brain energy, I'm not gonna lie. Let's keep moving down, though. Henry Cejudo. Henry Cejudo gives off the vibe that he is extremely big brain, but realistically, this dude's below average. He'll be like, hey guys, hey, I think Chimaev is gonna go for a takedown in this fight. You know, just some basic-ass stuff, below average. We can get some more champions here. We only have 3 more champions left. Tom Aspinall, he's British, so below average. John Jones, maybe above average. Actually, he's kind of below average. This dude did a hit and run, so you have to be pretty below average to do that. So Merab, disabled. If you haven't seen this dude, if you haven't seen him jump head first into a frozen lake, go watch that after this video. Hilarious. I love that video. Then we got Bunkang. Bunkang, obviously disabled. If you haven't watched his viral videos, I highly recommend doing so. You'll see exactly why this dude is disabled. Piper, average, I would say. Maybe a below average, to be honest. He gives me the vibe of someone who's not that smart. The dude that killed Bryce Mitchell, below average as well. Actually, maybe average. He gives me average energy, I'm not gonna lie. Michael Chandler, disabled. This dude this guy realistically could have been a UFC champion, but the fight IQ, disabled. You know, some of his other activities outside the cage, disabled. Waiting 2 years for Conor McGregor, disabled. Sean Strickland, low key. Before the accident, I would say he's about above average. He might be a little bit below average now, I'm not gonna lie. Trevor Peek, very, very end of below average. Could easily go into disabled, but I'm not gonna let his accent fool me. He low-key could be big brain, just fooling us all. We got 3 more dudes left. Nico Price, honestly, could go into disabled. I'm gonna put him in below average with Trevor Peek. Like, low-key, they're the exact same guy. Michelle Pereira, average. Sean O'Malley, low-key, averages. Nah, this dude, before he was like anything in the UFC, shaved his eyebrows for $20. You know you're not smart. You know you're pretty below average if you're doing that. And yeah, that's my list. Let me know, did I miss anyone? Because like I said, we had like close to 60 fighters here. Fuck, I forgot Nate the Train. That's who I missed. Nate the Train's going right here with Trevor Peek. But if I missed anyone else, let me know in the comments below. What do you think of this list? What do you think of my disabled section? I think it's pretty accurate. Thank you guys for watching to the end of the video. And there's really not that much else left to say except for I will see you guys in my next video.